If you're looking to get healthy, there's no better way to start than to eat a ton of ginger. It's super good for you, it makes you feel really good, and it tastes super delicious. So it's a win-win-win situation. Today's recipe, pork chops with bok choy, starts with a delicious, really gingery marinade for the pork. You actually need 3 tablespoons of grated ginger. I'm starting with a piece of ginger about 3 inches. It's nice and fresh. It's spraying me with ginger juice, and I am not gonna complain if I'm walking around smelling like ginger. I'm just not gonna. I like to use the edge of a thin spoon to peel the ginger. I find that to be the most efficient way to do it. You save most of the ginger and just get rid of the skin. There are special ginger graters out there, but I like to use a rasp grater because it's more all-purpose. The rasp grater makes quick work of grating ginger and removes all of those pesky fibers in the process. That looks like about 3 tablespoons. Add your ginger to 1/3 cup of soy sauce, and then add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I really love the combination of a citrus like lemon or lime with soy sauce. It's so delicious. Have you ever tried it before? If you haven't, you definitely should. I'm just gonna go ahead and use all this lemon, even if it's a little more than 2 tablespoons. I'll be okay with that. Oh yeah, that's a juicy lemon. And then a tablespoon of vegetable oil. And that's your marinade for your pork chops. I have 4 bone-in pork chops in a zip top bag. I'm gonna marinate them right in the bag in the refrigerator for at least an hour and up to overnight. You can actually make the marinade in the bag and then add the pork chops. Your choice. You have to use the measuring cup anyway to measure your soy sauce, so. Mush it around a little bit so that the pork chops are completely covered. And especially if you're doing this for up to overnight, you can mush it around once or twice during the marinating time for nice, even coverage. And if you're worried about it leaking, which you shouldn't be if it's a good seal, but if you are, you can put this inside a dish inside of your refrigerator. I have a tendency to do that with meat stuff anyway. After an hour, remove the pork chops from their marinade and season them with salt. And then you're gonna broil them until they're cooked through. It should take about 8 minutes total. You don't have to over season because remember that soy sauce is kind of salty too. So I may have slightly been a little heavy-handed. These should take about 8 minutes. I like to turn them once during cooking. To go with your pork chops, why not make a nice green? I'm gonna do bok choy today, sauteed with some garlic. I have 5 cloves of garlic here, thinly sliced. Well, they're not thinly sliced yet, but they will be soon. And then 1 large head of bok choy. You can use baby bok choy too. I would use like 3 or 4 small heads if you have that. Anything in the bok choy family would work nicely. Even Napa cabbage or something like that would be good. Trim off the bottom, you don't want the bottom part, but everything else in the bok choy is edible. I do like to look in the inside. It's a little bit dirty, so I'm gonna rinse these. Just the outside pieces seem dirty. Make sure they're nice and dry though, because you're gonna put them into hot oil in a few seconds and you don't want it splattering all over the place. Cut the white and the greens across into pieces, and then go ahead and heat a large skillet on medium-high heat to cook this. Have a pan heating, medium-high, and then you're gonna saute everything together. Add some oil to your pan, and then the garlic. Cook the garlic till it's fragrant with a 1/4 teaspoon of hot pepper flakes. You can skip those if you don't like spice, or you can reduce it to a pinch. The pork chops smell so good. They're wafting right up here. Delish. Don't overcook your garlic, just get it nice and fragrant, and then add your bok choy. A little bit of salt. I'm just gonna let it sit there for 1 second and start cooking, and then give it a stir. And it should take just a matter of minutes for this to cook and for the pork chops to be done. After the pork comes out of the oven, you should really let it rest for 5 or 10 minutes before you serve it. So I'm gonna take my pork out now while I'm finishing this up. crunchy you like your vegetables, how long you should cook this, and if you want them extra soft, you could add a splash of stock or water. Shall we? We shall. Bok choy, delish, and a pork chop. Another delicious fast recipe using your broiler, and one of my favorite ingredients, fresh ginger. Delightful and delicious. Hi guys, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to click here if you want to subscribe, and click over here if you want to continue watching more great videos like this.